Wow, I am live. This is going to be great. So, I'm testing this out because this is the first time that I've been able to go live. This is so cool. Okay, everybody, welcome. And I am going to do a recap of June. So, I'm going to fix my background later. So, I'm not going to worry about it now. Hope everybody is doing well. And this is the last day of June. I think summer is going by very quickly, too quickly for me because it is one of my favorite times of the year. Fall being the other favorite time of the year. I feel like water is very significant to this period of time, like right now. Somebody should be drinking water. Somebody should be soaking in an Epsom salt bath, releasing the tension in their muscles. Maybe you're swimming at the beach or dipping your toes in a creek. Maybe you are skinny dipping. Maybe you are catching fish. You're going fishing. Fishing is definitely important. And I took a trip yesterday to someplace incredibly special. I want to tell you about it. I missed seeing, at least I think I missed seeing the Daneta who were visiting at one of the ancient sites in this state, a mound, a barrel mound system. And the reason why I say that I missed them, they were supposed to dance last weekend, last Saturday, and then they delayed it by 1 week, right? And that would have been on yesterday. I just pulled the hurdy-gurdy wheel card out of Music Maker's deck. The hurdy-gurdy is a wheel fiddle stringed instrument, and it's played by turning a crank that causes a wheel to rub strings inside the case. And it's pressed that has pressed keys that change the pitch, medieval in origin, European in origin, and a hurdy-gurdyist or violist is what you call the player of the hurdy-gurdy. So this is a medieval European stringed instrument from medieval times. So I went to go visit the Grave Creek Mound, one of the most ancient, one of the tallest earthen mounds in the United States of America. And I think it was believed to be constructed between 250 or 150, between 250 and 150 BC, before Christ. So it is an example of a pre-Christian mound system, earthen system built by humans. What's one of the other significant things, other than the evidence of pre-Christian civilization here in the United States, is that the mound was surrounded by a moat at one point that was 40 miles wide and 5 miles deep. 45 miles, or 40 miles wide, rather, and 5 miles deep. So the number 45 might be significant to you, or the number 9. But can you imagine an earthen mound surrounded by a moat? And it was a burial mound because it was excavated in, I believe, 1838 is what I remember reading. And inside the mound was found some log structures, like log walls, kind of like a log cabin structure inside, and human remains and evidence of civilization. Okay. At one point during the Civil War, there was a saloon on top of this ancient burial mound. Can you imagine a saloon on top of a burial mound. Oh, and this burial mound at one point was 69 feet high. 69 feet high. So maybe the number 15 might be important to you. 69 is a powerful number, might be important to you. And now it's about 62 feet high, I think they say. So can you imagine this earthen mound is almost 70 feet high, surrounded by a moat. Surrounded by a moat. So I'm thinking about this. A moat, of course, contains water, rather. Why don't we have moats anymore? Did we drain moats because of a reason other than like they track mosquitoes and bugs? I don't know. Why do we drain moats? To build more roads, to build houses, buildings. Why don't we have moats anymore? I read that the Great Pyramid Complex in Egypt, a lot of the complexes were also surrounded by moats. Maybe they got their water from the Great Nile. So, what is it with river structures, rivers and structures, rivers and ancient civilizations, water, moats? Maybe somebody is right now, as we speak, on a boat. Maybe a boat is significant to what I'm picking up, the energy that I'm picking up on. So, water, moats. I'm really, really stuck on this idea that somehow, some way, moats and water are significant for construction and for building great civilizations. So that we have to protect our water. And that rain could be caught, siphoned, reused. This card just leapt out at me. It's Jet, Jet. You can see what it looks like right here. And it says Jet is earthy and grounding. And it says this true black mineralized variety of coal, jet is a form of coal, I didn't know that, is an ancient fossilized driftwood. So there you go, ancient driftwood. So I just visited this site yesterday and I have a picture. I don't know if I can upload it to my YouTube or not because my storage is full and I just uploaded it to my Facebook instead. Um, Jet is very good for empaths. Jet is very good for clearing your physical space or your body of uninvited vibes. And you're supposed to swipe Jet over the affected area, tell toxic energies, spirits, and tensions to peace out. Okay? So when you want to communicate with spirit, get some Jet. But then as I think about that, I must be surrounded by Jet, right? If anyone lives in states that have lots of natural resources under the ground, under the earth, under the mountains, probably they're brimming with Jet, which means you shouldn't have to work too hard to communicate with ancient ones. Second card I pulled. Come on, can't make this up. What is this? The diamond. Here it is. Take a good look. So, the girl's best friend, diamonds, come from, don't they come from coal? Okay. Made from fossilized material. They radiate energy and they clear away all of the clouds of doubt, right? Because when you get married, typically a diamond is involved, clarity is involved. And you know, I think that diamonds are very strong, conductive materials. If you can read more about diamonds. Diamonds are under these hills, mountains. Um, let's do one more. Another bloodstone, earthy green chalcedony, and it's got red jasper striated through it. And in the Middle Ages, they say some believed the red splashes on the stone's surface were the blood of Christ. So that's what some ancient medievalists thought about this stone called bloodstone. And I just told you, I visited yesterday the United States' tallest discovered earthen mound, BCE, before Christ. So that brings up so many good questions. If the ancient people came across chalcedony before Christ, what did they think the red striations in the jasper represented? I also wonder, what did the ancient people call themselves before they were given names by Christians? You know, people who discovered the story of Christ. Okay. What did the ancient people call themselves? Because the mound that I visited, okay, which is called the Grave Creek Mound, right, in Moundsville, West Virginia, it was said to have been built by the Adena people, Adena. But then, like, I later discovered that this name, Adena, was bestowed upon the people, right, by settlers, right? So, what did the Adena call themselves, I wonder, before they were given the name Adena? Okay. Did they even know that that's what they were being called? I really wish we knew these questions. And that brings up another point. What is your name? What do you prefer to be called? Is your name the name that you resonate with? Is your name the name that you prefer to be called? Okay. So these are questions. Jet may be significant to you. Diamond may be significant to you. Bloodstone may also be significant to you. It says when you want to use your bloodstone, you must be, people who are drawn to do important work like spiritual, physical, and psychological work could benefit from using bloodstone. Okay. When you want to get grounded into your body and start feeling yourself, feeling who you are, when you want to get good sleep, when you want to get good exercise, you want to get nourishment, bloodstone may help you. Okay. Power up your vitals with bloodstone. Shine your brightest with diamond. And claim your space with jet. Claim your space with jet. So powerful. I mean, to think that ancient people, 250 years BCE, created earthworks that still we can visit today is an incredibly powerful gift, an incredibly powerful commentary on longevity. Okay. But the other day, I think what inspired me to take this trip was I pulled the Olmec card in the Black History flashcard deck. And I drew the Olmec card and I drew Paul Robeson. Okay. And then I said I should go visit that mound. that earthen mound in Moundsville. And because I'm not sure if I've actually ever visited it, and it should be a part of every child's curricula for as long as they're in school, public school, private school, to go visit what the ancestors left us. Okay. But anyway, so I went to go visit this mound. I was searching for the powwow that was advertised that the Dene were going to be dancing, where they were going to be dancing. I know the event started at 11:30, but I went to a dance event and music concert with Starship actually the night before, which was also another amazing experience. And again, if you're not getting out of the house to experience, especially free events that organizers have put together, you know, regardless of how you feel about politics, whatever, get outside, do something fun. Don't spend a lot of money doing it, or don't spend any money. Go to the free events. The Queen card for today. My strength lies in my I just pulled this card last week. My strength lies in my vulnerability, connectivity, and authenticity. My armor only makes me heavier and slow. So my strength lies in my vulnerability, connectivity, and authenticity. Be yourself, know who you are, connect, and have fun. Allow your emotions to come forth, because armor only makes you heavier and slower. Okay. Disarm yourself by going out in nature, connecting with ancients. The other interesting thing about this oldest conical mound, meaning, it's one of the tallest, it's one of the oldest, but it's one of the tallest. That's most important. Is, of course, there's controversy. There was a tablet found at this mound that contained ruins or writings, carvings that looked like writings, ancient script. And some people say that it's a fake tablet, that it's fraudulent, that even though it was found at the site in the 1830s, I believe, that whoever found it may have fabricated it. Now, again, we don't know. Nobody knows the truth. And so I certainly am not casting any aspersions at anyone anciently, who dug around in that grave and allegedly found this tablet. I'm just stating the fact that if you read the history, there's a tablet associated with this particular mound, and the tablet has carvings that many people think are ancient hieroglyphs, ancient writings, but also ancient runes. And some people say that they're connected to druids. Like, druids, aren't druids medieval priests or medieval spiritualists? And I pulled on the music maker's card the medieval stringed instrument. So maybe there's a significance to stringed instruments, instrumentation, and time. Maybe that is a sign to break out your guitar and commune with the ancients. Queen card number 2. Isn't that pretty? Kind of matches the painting. I was created for praise, purpose, and pleasure. I give and receive beautifully. I was created for praise, purpose, and pleasure. I give and receive beautifully. This makes me think of vulnerability. Again, the importance of being authentic, open to receive because you give so generously. Also have to be open to receive the gift, from the genuine people who want to appreciate you genuinely, not from a place of lack. This is what I've been thinking about. What is the how by when we ask the question, what did the Adina call themselves, then we want to know what was their authentic representation or their authentic understanding of self. What was their own understanding? Because that narrative is lost when we study history, isn't it? I mean, history is a very interesting subject. I love history, love studying history. And I also know that often when we study history, not always, but often, the subjects of the history that we study are missing in the narrative. Their own voice, rather, is missing in the narrative. And it's sad. It makes me kind of sad. Where's their voice? Where's your voice? So the energy reading that is related, this is all to do with the end of June, kind of reflecting on purposely getting to know who you are, representing who you are authentically from a place of authenticity, being in communication with ancient wisdom that surrounds us, ancient wisdom that is present, ancient wisdom that is visible, we see, that is demonstrable, perception. Okay? Perception. Card number 35, 35, 8 might be significant to you. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So perception supports our natural curiosity. We're curious about the unknown. We're curious about things that don't make sense to us, usually. I think if we're healthy, we're curious. If we're not healthy, when we confront things that are not what we're used to seeing, we tend to judge. Judgment is, in my opinion, the opposite of perception. It's the opposite of curiosity. The opposite of curiosity, the opposite of judgment, of perception rather, is judgment. So we stay open. We move out of our comfort zone. Okay. You see me, I've been shuffling, and I'm pulling some of the same cards. So I'm going to shuffle better. And when I say same cards as I pulled last week. But discernment, I just pulled that again. But maybe it's important to be discerning, to cut through the BS, to cut through the ambiguity so that we can get to greater appreciation in the form of delight. Look at all that orange. Powerful. Delight, card number 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 19. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. So allowing yourself to enjoy life and allowing yourself to move out of your comfort zone, allowing yourself to traverse bodies of water and raise your frequency and vibration. Number 17, consciousness. Raise your consciousness. Look at the blue. This is very, it's very interesting to me. I feel like on my trip, I was surrounded by a lot of green, a lot of yellow, a lot of blue. That's what I feel. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. So, consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Well, what is a multidimensional aspect? A multidimensional aspect? 3D, 5D stuff. Okay, so like literally, I'm able to travel from my present moment in my present community to commune with an ancient structure from the past that may be associated with druids or not, that used to have a moat. Number 11, belief. What does belief? A lot of people say, I believe in this, I believe in that, but what is belief? The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. A strong connection to source. Certainly the ancients had a way of memorializing their ancestors that allow the present beneficiaries to commune with them, to traverse dimensions, to dance at their grave, literally. I missed seeing Deneta, but their presence was noted, especially by the neighborhood. Interestingly, I saw some girls walking by the mound when I was in the parking lot. And one of them, if not both of them, but at least one of them was carrying a doll. And these girls, were locals, local West Virginians, probably the descendants of settlers, and they were very curious and kind when I asked them if there was an event here earlier today. And they said, yes, lots of people came. There was something going on. People filled the building. That's what they said. Isn't that great that those children saw the community that traveled to commune with the ancestors? What an experience. Dynamic. Number 23. Take a look. This is in the shape of a pyramid. Okay, speaking of mounds, speaking of structures, speaking of energy transfer, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Again, ease, grace, great joy. Light-hearted, light as a feather. Wow, I'm just so excited and overwhelmed for July, because June is going out with grace, wisdom, joy, lightheartedness. Children connecting with their toys. You're never too old, actually, to play with toys. Number 13, coherence. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. You create the reality that you desire when you're in balance and in harmony. So there's really no reason to be in conflict when you're acting out of coherent well-being. Coherence. When you honor coherence, when you agree that heart and mind connection is strong, what we think can influence what we feel, how we feel, can influence our health as well. 13, coherence. 1 plus 3 is 4. So balance, creativity. I hope you're taking time to drink water, to play with your toys, to be like the inquisitive children of Moundsville. You know, they get a lot of visitors, right? Because it's a very ancient space. So they're always resonating with the vibration of welcoming the stranger or re-welcoming the ancestors. Here is an interesting pull. Look at that. I pulled the pipe organ. Okay, you see that? It is an ancient Greek instrument. An organist plays the pipe organ, played by driving air through toned pipes, selected by means of a keyboard. Largest have 20,000 pipes. So air energy. So a lot of air energy, lots of communication happening when you travel. And traveling is so much fun for that exact reason. You know, maybe you're not going on that grand vacation of your dreams, but maybe you're going to the town in the state where you live that you've not visited since you were a child or not visited ever. Okay. And you reconnect with that place. You see the people for who they are, and you exchange your hellos. Being the traveler requires you to be on your best behavior, doesn't it? To be receptive to the people who especially come out to greet you and see you. So shout out once again to the young people and the people in general of Moundsville. Oh, something fell down. Okay, so I opened up the Lover's Oracle box, and I'm usually more careful than this, but this card fell right on the floor. And it says, "No one understands me but you. No one understands me but you." So, isn't that something? Understand, believe, connect, be in harmony. It's kind of cool. Understand this. In order to understand someone, you must seek to understand them, and you must know who you are as well. I love it. You know, these are people who, you know, being the person who you don't have to, let's see, you don't have to wait for somebody to initiate the conversation. You may start the conversation if you so desire, if you have the energy. I feel lonely. Somebody feels lonely. Who feels lonely? Who is not traveling feels lonely, probably. Okay. There's something to be said. Again, I pulled the card earlier for getting out of your comfort zone. And don't feel sad or bad if the concept of getting out of the comfort zone isn't meeting what that reality is for you right now. This is about unsticking, feeling unstuck. And this is not an easy conversation to have because I just pulled the "You've triggered me" card. Somebody is very triggered about me talking about getting out of one's comfort zone. Who is triggered at this subject of getting out of one's comfort zone, especially as we go to the month of July? Okay. Traversing moats. Why don't we have moats anymore? Are you on a boat? Are you on water? Are you suffering from childhood trauma? Is that what is preventing you from getting out of your comfort zone and connecting with people who are different from you, but yet may still share commonalities? I can't get over the fact that we think of this, there's a whole town, right, called Moundsville, and it was named because the settlers who discovered Moundsville found, a lot of mounds when they got there. Over time, some of those mounds have been destroyed, bulldozed, wrecked in order to build a new civilization, which is our modern day civilization, okay, that we inherited from those settlers, okay? But the big question is, gosh, what is it that we haven't yet discovered? We can't think that we have found it all, that we know it all. That's where history fails us, right? Because we're triggered because we think that there's a reason to feel lack. And there is no reason when we live with open hearts, minds, and we can accept that we are in a state of flow, continuous change, and that there is abundance. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense. Energy. All of a sudden, I just got very hot, and all of a sudden, I just got very thirsty. So, excuse me. I'm going to drink this water. Woo. That's very cool, refreshing water. Out of the Starbucks cup. Yeah. There's no need for sugar when you have ice cold water. All right. I've been trying to cut back on that. The sweet drinks that I so enjoy. Who is triggered at the thought or the discussion, of getting out of one's comfort zone? When we get out of our comfort zone, I split the deck and got the Fool. Happily traversing the world, leaving it behind, ready to leap off the edge of the earth into the unknown. Grounded here, but yet surrounded by the sky, the cloud. Well, this is a mountain in the background, I think, but 1 foot on the ground. Well, technically both feet, but looking at what's ahead. What is ahead when you take the leap? Okay. So, Ace of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Ace of Pentacles. Fortune follows. the brave. You never know what awaits you until you take the leap of faith. I love this card, the Fool, because this is a person whose chin is up, has a light load as opposed to a heavy load, carrying a flower. It's a white flower, looks like, hey, I'm peaceful, I'm cool. I just came to check things out, and I have my loyal dog companion with me. Happy-go-lucky adventurer with the sun shining down at his back. Come on, get outside. Get outside. Walk around. Be adventurous. Meet the unknown. Go commune with the ancestors. Do the unexpected and find peace, find harmony. Okay? So I triggered the Fool, or the Fool may be triggered, but the Fool is not going to be triggered for long, because the Fool is saying, you're right, we're out. We're out of here. Ace of Pentacles. We're going for it. Happily. Chin up. Time to go. Time to throw down. Who cares? Being carefree, being light as a feather, especially during these times. Somebody is going on a perpetual vacation. Much needed. So this came in reverse, Ace of Swords. Whew, I know it can be hard to make change. Is somebody waiting for permission from an authority figure to take this leap of faith? Because lightening one's load through clearing one's conscious, through knowing that you are enough, can be a very powerful antidote to what's called codependency. I mean, codependency is something many people struggle with. Knight of Swords in reverse. Faith, trusting, believing, especially in those things that we cannot see, is a challenge. for many people in this particular era. But I feel like with recent political events, recent health upheavals, people are starting to tune in more to their body and to trust and believe. Whether the belief is in themselves or in their faith. And the Four of Wands in reverse is the obstacles. Part of those obstacles that we're overcoming, this is a card that's about tradition. This is a job or card about the community coming together to respect and honor tradition, but it's upside down. There's something going on, I believe, with community, the idea of community, what community is about, what community is representative of. Magician, infinity. Okay, so alchemizing this great expedition into the unknown, it relies upon knowing that you have the tools and the capability necessary for your own success. You have the ability to communicate with people in the present. You have the ability to access knowledge from the past. You have the resources to gain additional resources. And a lot of that gain will come from your own initiative and your own charisma. You could be gifted an apple and you have the knowledge to save those apple seeds and plant an entire orchard from one gifted apple. The funny thing is, when I went to the event on Saturday, wait, what is today? Today's Sunday. On Friday, sorry. I went to this event on Friday that was a free music concert. There was a mural that I saw, and it was a Johnny Appleseed mural. And I was like, wow, Johnny Appleseed, this character that we learned about in grade school, I haven't thought about since grade school. It still permeates culture, it's still permeating my life today. And I just said, with the pulling the magician card, the magician helps us, guides us, and helps us to remember we have the resources. Things might not be happening as quickly, as swiftly as we wish them to. Okay. But we have the resources to grow and to help others. But more importantly, you can't, people can help themselves too by knowing that they can go within. Something as simple as walking barefoot on the grass can be a transformative, healthy experience for you. Justice. Balancing the scales, the sword is in the upright, in the hands of justice. Alchemizing your situation with the power of truth. Speaking truth to power. opening doors, connecting with the fool within, overcoming institutional societal barriers that constrict and limit growth, travel, crossing boundaries is what justice is about. Getting out of your head and into nature in order to connect with the richness, the cornucopia that awaits. Takes initiative, but you can do it. In reverse, right? The Eight of Swords. Unblindfolded, meaning you can see clearly. Clearly, you can see that it's necessary for your own growth, the collective's growth, and prosperity and future prosperity to not question, but to take action on one's desire. Forget the question asking. Connect. It's the connection. It's not waiting to be called upon or discovered. I'm again reminded of the children playing with their toys. They're just playing, they're walking past this ancient mound that was built 250 to 150 BCE, coming upon the stranger, which is, I'm the stranger, with friendliness, openness, being receptive to the question I asked about dancers and visitors. But they were so receptive and kind. Okay? Four of Pentacles. Okay. I kind of feel like this is the guarding knowledge card, but it's also like pause. Cities have been built by recognizing the value, the inherent value of the past. There's no, again, there's no reason to doubt. Just because you have the Four of Pentacles, just because you're existing in the present moment, doesn't mean you cannot also connect with the past and question. Again, in reverse. Okay. King of Swords. The swiftness is rejected. The swiftness is paused. There's a need to stop, reflect. Reflect on your present moment. At the bottom of the deck, the Tower, but it was in reverse. Okay. Death in reverse. No death. I mean, this is very much, when I pulled the first card I pulled was the Fool. The last card, Death in reverse. So something is moving forward. We're moving forward. The moat has been long ago removed from the equation. What do we think of a moat? We think of a moat as an obstacle that's in front of something very ancient. We question why the moat no longer exists as an archaeological or like a architectural is what I mean, feature. Archeo I would love to have been the first archaeologist to have come across the pyramids and the mounds that were, and the castles even, that were surrounded by a moat, and to ask the question, should we still keep this? I mean, why did the people have it? What did they use it for? But then who were the people, the engineers who said, let's just get rid of all of the moats? Um, so again, the fool is saying, stop asking these questions, maybe, and just go out and experience the remnants of ancient civilization and culture. Find out what the people called themselves by getting to know who you are, by getting to connect with the source, the creator. What do you call yourself? Here we have the first cup card today is the 8 of Cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Cups. Okay. Contrasting with the Fool. Isn't that interesting? Both are on a journey. Both have a staff. But really, the 8 of Cups is a dark night of the soul card in some ways. Here is obviously the moon contrasted with the Fool, the sun. Let's take a look. Okay. The journey continues. Leaving people behind. Places behind. Traversing water. To go to higher ground. In the distance, we see something that looks like a mound or a mountain. Ancient wisdom, the moon, kind of protecting the knowledge, seeking, finding, shining. Let's look at history cards. Eight of Cups. Okay. Okay, so my tarot cards have been talking about basically movement, and the energy is all about leaving what is familiar in search of the unfamiliar. I pulled Patrice Lumumba, and today is the last day of June. Patrice Lumumba was born July 2nd, 1925. He passed January 17th, 1961. Patrice Lumumba, Congolese independence leader and first democratically elected leader of Congo. And he became prime minister at the age of 35. So this was a young person on a journey who became a leader at the age of 35. And I pulled the 8 of Cups. 3 plus 5 is 8. He was the founder and leader of mainstream movement National Congolais. I guess it's Mouvement National Congolais. He had an integral role in the campaign for independence from Belgium. That's interesting. So, Congo under Belgian colonization was kind of freed by Patrice Lumumba's actions and the actions of his supporters. He co established the Mouvement National Congolais in 1958 to call for countrywide unity and freedom from colonial atrocities. Okay. So, in 1964, the quotation says here Malcolm X said Lumumba was, quote, the greatest Black man who ever walked the African continent. The greatest Black man who ever walked the African continent was not sitting on a throne, right? Swords King reversed. Okay. Do I have it? I have the Knight of Swords reversed as well. Okay. I have Justice sitting on the throne in the upright, but I have two walkers at least, the Fool and the Eight of Cups in the upright, walking toward uncertain future, but with that action of traveling, perhaps alchemizing the power inherent within to reverse fate, to reverse present circumstance, and to create a new world, an entirely new existence, not built on imposed tradition. Okay. Maybe that's what Patrice Lumumba showing up in this reading is about. Whew. Walking as a revolutionary act, traveling as a changing your circumstances. Or maybe it goes back to the energy card of perception. Changing your perception by changing your reality, your present circumstance. Changing your perception by changing your present circumstance can lead to revolution. Okay. Revolution is radical change. Two cards came out. I pulled Paul Robeson yesterday. I pulled also Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer, civil rights activist, born October 6th, 1917, passed March 14th, 1977. Voting rights activist, civil rights leader, and philanthropist, helped poor and needy families in her Mississippi community, worked for SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. She was the vice chair of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. She was elected as a National Democratic Party delegate in 1972. She has a quotation here. Oh no, the New York Times, said of her after her passing, quote, none of us would be where we are today had she not been here then. None of us would be where we are today had she not been here then. So just like I was saying, I traveled to the past to reflect on the gifts that the ancestors gave us. And it's also a good time to reconnect and think about how social structures, governments, belief systems are handed down, take what serves, and walk away from the rest in order to create something new, in order to persevere over something new. not over something new, in order to persevere, in order to open the door to something new. Let's look at black icons. First, I am courageous and stand up for myself. Okay. A lot of cards with standing, movement, cards, literal cards that literally have characters moving on. Then historical cards that reference leaders of actual movements. There's a song that I'm now channeling by Starship. Nothing's going to stop us now. We can build a dream together, or something like that. Okay. I believe in my dreams and my ability to achieve them. I just, pulled this as I was talking about dreams and channeling the song. Nothing's going to stop us now. I believe in my dreams and my ability to achieve them. And this is the 50-cent card. It has the black icon 50 cent. And there's a quotation from 50 that says, "Behind me is infinite power. Before me is endless possibility." Think of the Fool card. Around me is boundless opportunity. My strength is mental, physical, and spiritual. The Fool card is looking ahead. The 8 of Cups is looking forward, but the world in the foreground is behind the 8 of Cups figure. Behind me is infinite power. So the 8 of Cups could be referencing walking away from power that no longer serves one into infinite, endless possibility that is before one, leaving it all behind. I control my own destiny. The Spike Lee card. Spike Lee is saying on this card, I believe in destiny, but I also believe that you can't just sit back and let destiny happen. You can't just sit back and let destiny happen. You must persevere. You must go on the journey. And with that, I thank you for being here with me. I hope you like this post. I hope you share it. I hope you subscribe in order to build this channel together. It's been wonderful being here with you. Enjoy.